Welcome to our lesson on file management. In this lesson, we're going to look at some basic file management. We're going to look at how to print a document, how to send a document, as well as how to convert a document to a different file type. When it comes to file management, most operating systems have some kind of file management built in already. In Windows, we make use of Windows Explorer. Windows Explorer can be accessed via your menu toolbar or menu bar, or just by accessing one of your files. If you have a look at the screen, I've already accessed Windows Explorer, and I prefer working in the details view where I can see all the properties or attributes relating to a specific file. You can change your view by selecting more options, and perhaps you would prefer seeing large icons of the actual files. I'm going to change it back to my details view. In your details view, you can also add more fields. So you can right click and then perhaps also add something like the date created. In Windows Explorer, you can also sort. So you can sort according to size. So I want to see all the medium-sized documents, for instance. And you can sort according to the type. So if you just click on type, it will group all the different types of documents together. That makes it much easier when you're searching for a specific file as well. When it comes to naming your files, it's always a good idea to use a descriptive name. And we often make use of something called a file naming convention. For instance, what I've done with the different budget files here is that I've started off with the first 3 letters of the month, then the word budget, and then the year. So in future, if I'm looking for a specific budget, I kind of know what the file name should be, and it will make it easier to locate. We're now going to look at a Word document. So I'm going to open Microsoft Word, and we're going to look at printing this document. If you want to print a document or make a hard copy of it, you select the File tab, and then you select Print. Let's have a look at our various options. The first thing that you need to note here is that you have a preview on the right-hand side of your screen of what you're going to print. So here's page 1, and I can go to page 2 to see what that will look like if I were to print it. Let's go through the options. The first button here is a print command, and that's the last button that you're going to push after selecting all your settings. Next to that, you can select how many copies of the document you would like to print. I'm going to change it to two copies. Then you have your printer settings. If you're connected to a network and you click on the drop down, you'll see more options available here. You will need to select the printer that you wish to print to, and then we're going to look at the settings. So firstly here, you can print what you want. So you can specify exactly what you want to print. So you could either print all the pages, you can print the current page that you're busy working on or where your cursor is located at the moment, or you can print a custom range. If you had a document with 10 pages, you might only choose to print page 5, 7, and 9. And you would specify that in the text box below that setting. You can also select to print only the odd pages or only the even pages of the document. I'm going to select to print all the pages. You can now select whether you want to print on one side or on both sides of the page. This will also depend on the type of printer that you have connected. So if you have a different type of printer here, some options, additional options will be available where it will already say print two-sided or print only on one side. To do this, it will print out your odd pages, and then you'll have to reload the paper into your printer so that the even pages can be printed on the other side. You can also choose how to collate, either to collate or uncollate. So you can print all the page 1s, then all the page 2s, and then all the page 3s, or you can select to collate everything and print them in packs in order. You can also change your orientation of your document. Just be careful of doing this in this view, because if you're going to change the orientation, it might throw out some of the formatting that you've done in your document. So I'm going to leave this as portrait for now. You can select the paper size. And just a note on this, if you were to select something like A5, which is a smaller type of paper, make sure that you actually have A5 paper to load into your printer, because it often happens that if you then try to use A4 paper, that the printer actually jams. Right, I'm going to select or leave it on letter for now. You can select or change your margins if you want to. And then here's a nice little feature. You can select to print 2 pages per sheet. So this is a 2-page document, and if you select 2 pages per sheet, you'll only be printing on 1 piece of paper. Obviously, the font and everything will display smaller on your printout, but you will be saving some paper in the process. Right, now these options can also be accessed via the printer properties. So you'll see just underneath your printer, there's a link to printer properties. And on your printer properties, there are usually other advanced options that you can change as well, such as the quality of your printout, etc. Now, instead of printing out a document or creating a hard copy, you could choose to send the document to someone electronically. Let's have a look at how to do this. Okay, so instead of printing, I'm going to select Save and Send. Your first option is to send your document using email. You can send it as an attachment to an email. And if you are in a network, you could even send a link. So they would have a hyperlink sent to them via email. And if they were to click on the link, it would take them to the document saved on a central server. You can also opt to send your document as a PDF or portable document format. This is quite useful because the PDF document or the PDF format file won't change from one computer to the next. It sometimes happens that when you save a Word document and you view it on one computer, that it looks slightly different on somebody else's computer. It throws out your alignment or tab stops that you've used. And this is a way to prevent that. Just also keep in mind that if you save it as a PDF document, you won't be able to edit the document afterwards. You can also choose to send it as an XPS, which is similar to a PDF document. And then you can also choose to send it as an internet fax. To do this though, you will need to sign up with a fax service provider. If you click on the button, it will take you to a website where you can sign up with a provider. It's sometimes necessary to convert a file to a different file type. We've already kind of discussed that in terms of sending it as a PDF or as an XPS, but we're now going to look at some other file formats. So I'm going to go to File Types and I'm going to select Change File Type. So here are some different document file types that you can save your current document as. You can also revert it to an older version of Office or Word 2010. So what I want to show you here, some people have been complaining about the word art options in Office 2010. That looks like this. So if you want those old word art options back, you can save your document as the previous version of Word. So let's go to File, Save, Change File Type, and I'm going to save it as Word 97 to 2003 and just have a look at what this does. So I'm going to save this. I'm just going to call it Newsletter 1. Note the type there, Word 97 to 2003. It's going to give you some kind of message warning you that there will be a compatibility problem. Just continue. And if you now go to Insert, Word Art, you will have those old options back again. Just keep in mind though that new options like the Insert Screenshot won't be available anymore. Right, let's go back and have a look at some of the other types. You can save it as an Openoffice document, as a template, or even as plain text, which will get rid of all your pictures and formatting. You can save it as a rich text format, and you can even save it as a single web page if you wanted to. There are a few minor differences when it comes to Openoffice Writer. So let's quickly move over to Openoffice Writer. I'm going to close this document and I'm going to move to my Openoffice document. Right, firstly, if I select File and I go to my Print section, you'll see it has three different options. It has a page preview, the print option, and then the printer settings as well. So let's go to our print option now. And here you'll have various settings such as the range of pages that you want to print, as well as the number of copies that you would like to print. Note that you have more tabs here at the top as well, where you can set specific settings. You can change the page layout. And you have other options like printing to a file, in other words, creating a soft copy of the document. I'm just going to cancel this and go back to File. And now I'm going to look at my printer settings. Okay, so here's my printer settings. If you click on the drop down, you can select whatever printer you want to print to. And you'll also be able to access the properties of that particular printer in this view. To save your documents as a different file type, select File, and you'll see over here we've got export options, and you can export it as a PDF if you wanted to, and that's how you would save it in a different file format. You also have the send option where you can send this via email, and you can also change the file type before sending it via email. And that concludes our lesson on file management.